Good evening, Suzanne. We have another topic to discuss, and this is a very special one. So, do you want to share with the audience what's tonight's topic?
Tonight's topic is my birthday.
Well, happy birthday, Suzanne. And do you want to share how many years, or we don't talk about that?
I'd prefer to keep that confidential.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so what would you like to tell us about the birthday?
Well, there's a poem that was written, I don't know when, and I never learned its title, but I learned the context of the poem when I was a teenager. It tells how children born on different days of the week had their destinies laid out for them.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to share?
Yes. Hold on.
Is everything okay?
I caught a pin in my sewing cloth where it wasn't supposed to be. I had to get it out. Okay. Let's see if the average listener has ever heard this poem. Monday's child is fair of face. Tuesday's child is full of grace. Wednesday's child is full of woe. Thursday's child has far to go. Friday's child is loving and giving. Saturday's child works hard for a living. And the child that's born on the Sabbath day is bonny and blithe and good and gay.
Okay, so that must be a pretty old poem.
Yes.
Okay, so what does that mean to you?
Well, since I was born on the 13th of August, when I've told some people what day it is, they think I was born on a Friday, the 13th.
Okay, and then, but you're not, right?
No, I wasn't. I studied the alignments of days of the week with the numbers of the days in different months, and I look back to the year of my birth, and I found out I had been born on a Wednesday, but that still meant a life of hardship for me. Remember, Wednesday's child is full of woe.
Yeah, so you feel that poem was a predictor of your life?
Yes.
Yeah, do you actually put some importance to that, or do you think it's a coincidence? Do you actually believe that, or do you think it's just a coincidence?
My life has been woeful from the very beginning, even up to today, and it will continue to be that way until I die.
But do you actually blame whoever wrote the poem?
I don't know who wrote the poem.
Okay, but do you blame the author? Or do you think it's just a coincidence? Somebody just wrote it?
Maybe it was just a coincidence, but then I've had a lifetime of supporting evidence.
Mm-hmm. Well, why do you think that is?
Because when I was very young, my parents were very strict with me. They did not tolerate the slightest mistakes. They also beat me up for it.
So that was
when I started school, I was teased by schoolmates from all the way from kindergarten through college.
Yeah, we did talk about that one. But if you say your parents beat you up, were you talking about a little spanking or actual physical beating?
Oh, sometimes they slap me in the face or bang my head against the wall.
Really, that bad? Well, you had siblings. Was everyone treated the same, or just you?
Well, my two oldest brothers were beat the same way, but when it came around to the youngest child, he was not mistreated so much because my parents had been taught lessons from the previous three.
Like what kind of lessons?
I said lessons.
Yeah, but that's what I meant. What kind?
Don't lose your temper. Don't frown on the slightest mistakes. You scare the child badly by yelling or slapping and later criticizing.
So you think that the fourth child was treated much better than you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So are you, what's the ranking order? Are you the number 3 or number 2?
What do you mean?
Well, you're not the oldest, but you're not the youngest, right?
I am the oldest.
Oh, you're the oldest. Okay. For some reason, I thought one of your brothers. But okay, so you're the oldest.
Yes.
What makes you think that they learned a lesson of the 3 kids and then the 4th one was treated much better?
Well, because there's a lot of experimentation and research to be done when it comes to the first child, so that when the second one comes around, you've had some experience.
Okay, so you think it took them 3 tries to get there?
Yes. Also, my life has been woeful because I had artistic talents which my father tried to take over and change to a style that he thought I should be using. Probably the average kindergarten age child, when he or she draws pictures, draws the people as stick figures.
Yeah, a lot of times, yes.
Okay, well, my father was impatient for me to draw two-sided limbs on my people, on the people that I drew, and he was very impatient. And when I continued to draw stick figures, he would scold me and insist that I draw 2 sides.
So, I mean, what age you were talking about?
I'm talking about 5 to 6.
Okay, and he didn't think the stick figures were appropriate?
My parents wanted me to go one step further than the obvious, or 2 steps, or 3 steps, etc. They wanted me to be a great achiever.
Mm-hmm. So you didn't put too much pressure on you?
Yes.
And did he do the same thing to 2 brothers, but not the last one?
Well, later the youngest brother also became a good artist, but when he was in high school, my father did to him the same thing he had done to me before. He was dissatisfied with how the brothers' artwork looked and tried to make him follow examples of other masters of the time.
No, was your father a great artist? Like, I don't know what he did for a living.
He didn't make his living as an artist, if that's what you mean.
Mm-hmm. But was he inclined that way, or did he have some talent?
Yes.
And so he felt that you should be on the same level?
Yes.
We kind of got off topic because we're supposed to talk about your birthday.
Well, Well, I'm illustrating how I was a Wednesday's child, and I was giving examples of how my life was filled with woe at various times.
That's right, yes. Was there any moments when you didn't feel that way? Or you think that every moment of your life was like that?
When I got good grades in school, my parents would be happy. I had dreams and fantasies which my father, when I was a teenager, made into no-nos.
Right, but it seems like we're still talking about, what affected you. So your childhood affected you a lot. Like there was nothing that you could have done after you left to kind of leave that behind when you moved out?
No.
What do you think that is?
Because my parents would force me to remember negative things that either I thought weren't important or had forgotten about.
Mm-hmm. So even though you lived on your own, there were still forcing some issues.
What about school?
No. So like eventually you moved out. You own an apartment to live in. So I'm saying you're still a big influence in your life.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything positive that happened to you? Do you think anything was positive in your life?
Well, I'm on the internet now. That was something that didn't exist until maybe just about 25 years ago. And if we had had it at earlier times in my life, I wouldn't have struggled so hard to make my name and my original dance works or craft work known.
Well, that's true. It would have been much easier to reach the audience because you don't have to physically go to a place. You could have just started a social media page of some sort. And, but that can be said for a lot of people. Anyone who's a little bit older, things just not the same, right?
Right.
So what else you would know about birthdays or this one specifically? This is not a big number for you, right? This is just like a ordinary number.
No, multiples of 5 or 10 are considered extra important, but this year is not an extra important number.
Right. So maybe in 2 years from now there will be, right?
I think 1 year.
Oh, 1 year. Okay, I'm off by a year. Okay, so next year is going to be a pretty big, important number for you.
Yes.
Okay, because it's a multiple of 10, right?
What?
It will be a multiple of 10.
Yes, it will.
Okay, and what's important about that number? Or do we not want to talk about it? Is there any meaning to the one that's coming up next year?
Well, you're supposed to be lucky if you reach that age and you're still strong and healthy. When it comes to retiring, I'm not even thinking about it.
Right.
I'm still working.
Right. So you're still going strong.
Yes.
All right. Anything else that we should know about birthdays? Anything that comes to mind?
You said you had a brother-in-law or a nephew whose birthdays are also today.
Well, actually, both of them. Yeah.
Huh?
Both of them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Both of them.
Yep. Yep. So you share same birthday. Yes.
Uh-huh.
So what do you think about that?
Well, it's very nice when people share birthdays, but then you can't expect them to be all the same age.
Well, that's true. Yeah, right. So it was a different age. Okay. Is that it about birthdays, or do you have something that we didn't cover?
If it had not been for the pandemic, Ocean City's baby parade would not have been canceled last year and would have been held on my birthday. I had a costume already, but it just went to waste.
What did you make a special costume for it?
Well, it was a beautiful gown, and it was yellow, my favorite color.
Okay, but you couldn't use it this year?
Well, it's not the same because in the first place, I did finish another, but Ocean City's birthday parade, baby parade, was yesterday, the 12th, so it wasn't quite the same.
Right, but I'm saying, did you get a chance to use the gown? Because otherwise you wouldn't use. Okay, but that's nice. How was your experience?
Well, there are many people who love my costumes. There are a number of people who say to me that they watched me in mostly parades, but some other events too. In the long run, I want to perform in venues besides parades. I did that before I got involved with parades. They said they'd seen me when they were young, and then when they grew up, they had their children become acquainted with me.
Okay. Wasn't there a family, I don't know, I forget what town it was, maybe it was Cape May, that would show up every year with a picture from the year before? And they would take another picture, so they kept going with the same kind of, every year they would add another photo of family with you. What town was that?
Well, that could have been just a few years ago, but I haven't seen that family in quite some time.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope everything's okay with them. All right, so should we wrap it up, or do you have something else to add to the birthday?
No, I think I've covered just about everything.
All right. Well, thank you, Suzanne, for talking to us again and sharing another part of your life and your story. And happy birthday. I hope it's a good one, and I hope you have many more.
Many regards to your kitty cats.
Yes.
And those two other family members whose birthday is also today.
Yes. Well, thank you for that, Suzanne. And you have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye.